Hey, good evening, everybody. I had to stop and realize it's already 7:04 here in Los Mochis, Mexico, Sinaloa. I wanted to do a video tonight, and this video is about meditation, if you didn't already know from the title. I had stopped and meditated, and like Cobb tells his apprentice in the movie Inception, it's very dangerous with the subconscious mind to focus on the past, because the past does not exist anymore. The past is all dead. The present moment, right now, in this present moment, this is where life is still evolving forward. It's your past or the past that builds the present moment, right? When a branch from a tree falls off, right, you break a branch from a tree or you trim a branch from a plant, it's dead. Well, that branch is going to grow back even stronger. And in this present moment, I have this plant. Well, this plant started off much smaller, but it's going to keep growing and growing and growing. Now, the future, with our imaginations, we are able to visualize the future and then take action and manifest the future into the present moment. How many of you guys saw the movie Tenet, right? It was a little inaccurate. This plant, though, and Aristotle, would hold up an acorn seed in front of his class, and he didn't want, Aristotle would ask his class, what do I have in my hand? And he didn't want his class to say, well, Aristotle, you have an acorn seed in your hand. No, duh. No. He wanted them to say that he had an acorn tree in his hand. Because the gravitational patterns within a seed is what allows that seed to grow into this plant. This plant already has a growth pattern inside of this plant that it's going to grow and evolve into. The future is already manifesting through the growth pattern, and its energy is constantly shifting, and in a sense almost visualizing the future that it's going to become and then bringing it back into the present moment. Now, we as human beings are the highest form of life there is, and we get to choose through free will what growth pattern we're going to create. You are created in the Creator's highest image. You are created in the Creator's highest image. And that means we have the spiritual mind, imagination, intuition, reason, willpower, free willpower. It's only free when you truly understand and love the one voice that you are on the inside. When you discover your one voice on the inside, guess what? You now have free will versus controlled will, where you're just doing things because society or religion tells you to. That's not who you really are. It's the difference between being nice and kind. So you have free will, intuition, imagination, reason, and memory. Right? Then you have the subconscious mind. And you have the ability to freely reprogram your subconscious mind, which is going to change your entire reality, from the way you kiss, the way you work, the way you talk, the way you public speak, the way you move your hands. Everything. Your eye color, everything originates from the subconscious mind, which formulates the physical world. Therefore, the original creator, or the one, formulated all of Earth through thought. It's the thoughts that create the physical world. Your body is a molecular structure vibrating accordingly to your thoughts. Now, there's a tribe in Europe that literally, while they're asleep, they are consciously aware that they're sleeping, lucid dreaming. But they're not just lucid dreaming. They understand very densely how the subconscious mind works, to where they're able to predict the future and sometimes even create the future through their dreams. How is this possible? That's a bunch of nonsense. This is not Peter Pan. It's not Peter Pan. Our imaginations are what, once again, create the present moment. We can bring back, with our imaginations, the future, take action, and create the present moment. If you had told somebody we were going to create light bulbs, turn on light with our fingers, thousands of years ago, they would have burned you on the stake for being a witch. If you told people thousands of years ago we were going to talk to somebody hundreds of miles away with just holding up a device, they would have burned you on the stake for being a witch. If you told people 10 years ago we were going to have virtual reality, they would have just said, no, that's Peter Pan. As we continue to go forward in quantum physics and metaphysics and even psychology in many senses, we understand what these people are doing. Because when you relax, right, the more you relax, the more you breathe, right? We all heard of Wim Hof, the guy that runs around in his underwear in negative degree weathers. You know, knowledge is power, and you get to decide whatever you want to do with it. You know, if you want to understand how to breathe like Wim Hof, and then you decide to go run around in your underwear in the snow, I mean, hey, that's his decision, right? We have free will. When you breathe, right, you relax your consciousness and you get back to a natural state. I want you to understand this word, natural. What does natural mean to you? Right? It's all about your perception. Natural to one person can mean McDonald's, while natural to another person means, you know, killing a chicken on the farm that was fed only, you know, organic homegrown corn with only pure dirt and purified water. And then you kill that chicken that was, you know, fed all of that pure corn that was grown with, you know, just from the dirt with purified water, and then you eat the chicken in a hamburger. Well, that's what natural is to me. It's the purest form. It's why I say there is no halfway lukewarm truth, right? A white lie. There's no such thing. There is only the truth or the untruth. There's no lukewarm. And the reason is because the universe or the galaxy, the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it, I'm not here to debate. Whatever you want to call it, right? The universe can always fill with your intuition, a part of your spiritual mind we just talked about, right? Your intuition only feels one or the other, bad or good. Your intuition doesn't know halfway. There's no halfway. If you're halfway, you're justifying a lie, and you're justifying an untruth. And when you speak the absolute truth, you offend a lot of people that are living a lie. That's my cover picture on Facebook. And it's why we get a lot of bad feedback and we offend a lot of people. And a lot of people are, well, I'm not here to be politically correct. I'm here to give back a little bit of my extra time I have, you know, once a week to offer some, you know, knowledge and insight, awareness to other people that actually want to learn and grow. And I know a lot of people just watch this and they meditate and they think about it. But I know that we have a lot of young souls. A lot of young people that have in the sense they have a long time to live that actually watch these videos that I want to help. It's about the future generations. And I know some of you are older. 50, you know, is the new 30. Okay? When you meditate and you relax, it allows you to get back to our natural state. Right? And a lot of this is common sense to some of you, right? You're either telling the truth or you're not telling the truth, right? That's just common sense to a lot of people. But I want to be clear, and my point is this. When you relax, right, you lay back and you meditate. This is what real meditation is. This is why meditation and yoga, or some forms of yoga, focus so much on the breathing. They call it the chakras, right? You breathe in literally from the ground, from your feet. I had a lot of friends that like to walk around barefoot. They literally like to feel the photosynthesis or the energy, the carbon, right? Or, I'm not going to go into that, but you get my point, right? The energy, there literally is scientifically photosynthesis that's occurring, but the energy that's being absorbed into the pavement. And if you go out at night, right? When you go out at night, when that energy is releasing even more, it's even more powerful. But you literally breathe in from your feet, through your private parts, through your solar plexus, through your neck, to your nose, and through your mind. And we live in a very backwards world where people often think the other way around. Right? It's not the sense. You breathe in from the ground and you breathe out through your consciousness or the mind. The mind is what tells the brain what to do. The brain is just a physical, robot or a physical, machine that's being controlled by your mind. and your thoughts, which create energy, and then the energy reformulates the brain and the neural pathways. We scientifically understand that our thoughts program the neural pathways in our brain. It's in the description of every one of our subliminal messages, right? I'm smiling because it's 330 subliminals, When you meditate, right, breathing is so important because we go back to this natural state. And what am I trying to say, or what am I wanting to say with natural state? I talked about this with Brandon in our, dual interview, and I know it went on for an hour, and a lot of people didn't want to watch me and Brandon ramble on for an hour. I'm not offended. You have a child that is so imaginative and so creative and so curious. And the child has an empty or near empty subconscious mind or beliefs, habits that are going to be decided by their environment and the adults that it's around. There was a boy that had a first grade teacher that told him he read so much he should be able to spell, and that boy went on to never know how to spell for almost his entire life until he discovered all of this, how the subconscious mind works and everything else. It's very scary, considering some of the adults that are around some children nowadays. It's very sad too, but we must have faith in life, because in the end life always wins, and in the end life is eternal and infinite. When you meditate, you get back to this natural state, and the more you get closer to this natural state of being, the more receptive you are to ideas or creativity. Napoleon Hill talks about it in Think and Grow Rich, and he's spot on. This creativity, you don't have to take drugs, you don't have to smoke, you don't have to drink. You can get back to this natural state just through breathing and understanding how to breathe, how to count while you breathe, how to breathe out, how long to hold your breath, like Wim Hof. This conscious breathing while you meditate, stretching your muscles. As I said, on a very, very deep note, your subconscious mind, or your body is a molecular structure vibrating accordingly to your thoughts. Therefore, your body is a reflection of your subconscious mind on a less, deeper note. Stretch every day, every night, every morning. Stretch, and breathe. Then drink plenty of water, just like subliminal messages. This is all natural. Subliminal messages are natural. You don't even need any technology besides, your computer or phone to listen to the audio. It's beautiful. Now, when you get back to this natural state, you may then enter the gateways of meditation. Right? The subconscious mind is heightened, and your conscious mind, the barrier between your subconscious mind and your conscious mind is closed the more relaxed you become. Now, when you are asleep, you are completely connected, your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, right? This is why movies like the Avatar, Titanic, all of these epic blockbusters or epic pieces of art, the list goes on, were created when the creator was in a lucid dream. This is why meditating is so important, because when you meditate, you get close to this lucid dream state. Can you imagine? Just stop and imagine. Use your spiritual mind. Stop and imagine. If you were to, every single person alive were to meditate every single day, it was required in the corporate education. And that's why it's corporate education, because, right, there's a few families that own all of the corporations and the dead news. I say dead news because, nobody's fooled anymore by that, or just a few people. But my point is, if every one of our children were just to stop and meditate, Could you imagine how many more avatars and Titanics and pieces of art and technology we would have? And I know a lot of things and inventions were created in indirect and unnatural states of consciousness or creativity. And I'm not going to sit here and debate that. But you have to be very careful in the energy and the exchange and your true self that you are exchanging for substances. And by that I mean, I speak about it in all of my videos. When you truly awaken and you discover your true self on the inside, the 400 trillion to 1 miracle that you are, you discover the miracle on the inside that you are, your unique talents, your unique gifts. An Olympic gold medalist said it perfectly. There are 55,000 people alive that could be doing what I do but better. So when you discover all of these unique talents, and we all have more than just one. We have, 2 or 3 unique talents. Our starting initial character. I mean, you can grow and develop like 30 or 40 characteristic traits. Not just 3 or 4 that this bullshit astrology religious propaganda likes to tell you. But when you truly discover yourself on the inside, the 400 trillion to 1 miracle you are, all of your starting characteristic traits, your talents and your gifts, or your set of talents and gifts, and you start to build and develop these. You have one voice. And this voice is very strong and stable from the inside when you truly love and understand yourself, or understand, aka love your true self. You are then connected to your heart, or the vibration of love that all of life vibrates on. Therefore, when you relax and meditate and you get into this creative state of mind, you are now creating 400 trillion to 1 beautiful art, like the avatar or whatnot. That's a reflection of your true self. Not giving up all of your energy or exchanging it with a substance to get something that you don't have to even be taking, that you can achieve naturally in an authentic and genuine, true way. That's not fake. Anyways, you get my point. I don't want to go off into that. Now, when you meditate, you get into the realms of your subconscious mind. You begin to, and when the lockdown started, how many of you guys started to do things that you had wanted to do for a while? Or how many of you guys, when the lockdown started, you started to actually take action on some of the things you hadn't done for a while? A lot of your talents and your gifts. And a lot of us had time to meditate and really listen to our inner voice. A lot of us used the lockdown to grow stronger in ourselves. Instead of having to take substances and escape from reality, a lot of us, like myself included, grew a lot stronger in our true self on the inside through the lockdown, or being alone, meditation, in many senses. And meditation is the way of the peaceful warrior. Meditation is the way of the peaceful soldier. Now, every peaceful soldier and peaceful warrior may have to fight, but they're so strong on the inside, right? The Shaolin monk are so strong on the inside. And if you meet any billionaire or any millionaire that got there without having to cheat, of course, you will be amazed by how much mental toughness they really have, how strong they are in their inner self, how self-assured they are on the inside. And it's because they are so awakened, aka understand and love themselves and have built themselves so much that they are unshakable. And when you discover your true self, you become unshakable. But when you meditate, you enter the realms and you go within yourself and you explore your inner self. Because when you're in this hyperactive society, right, we all get so much anxiety. We're always like checking our phones, checking our updates, our notifications. We live in a very hyperactive society with technology that throws you out of whack from your natural state of being. Did you notice how even with all the technology we have, we don't have any microchips hooked up to plants or trees? Or I was talking to Paola, who's a biochemist, and she was warning me about altering the genes or genetics of plants or animals, how dangerous it really is. And there's ways to make it happen, but I'm not going to reveal those ways, but it's very dangerous. Very dangerous. And that's because technology throws you and all of life out of our natural state. And you live in this hyperactive society where we lose that time to meditate. And I want every single one of you to experience the benefits of meditating on a daily basis, meditating on a weekly basis. You know, meditation allows you to grow closer to your inner self, to hear those voices. But not only that, while you meditate, when you're meditating, shift your focus, right? Where your focus goes, energy goes. Your focus creates your reality. So if you're consciously directing your focus while you meditate, you are very powerful. Very powerful. Because your focus creates your reality while you're able to direct your focus while you're meditating, like in a sense in a lucid dream almost. You're very powerful. So I want all of you to direct your focus while you're meditating towards the 3 pillars of life, I call them, in my book, The Book of Life. And that's relationships, your health, right? Relationships, your health, and your happiness or your joy. Then I want you, while you're meditating, some of you may go into a yoga state of meditation. Some of you, like myself, may just lay down on my bed with some, frequencies or sound therapy and just breathe and get really close to falling asleep, and then just, while my eyes are closed, I just start to consciously explore my subconscious and my inner soul or my inner being. And I really want you, while you're doing this, and this is not with a God, and I'm not going to go there, but anyways, while you're there in this meditative, receptive state, right, direct your focus on your relationships, and you will be amazed by how many voices that you have been suppressing through this hyperactive society or whatever it may be, this technological world. You will be amazed by how many voices start to rise from within and are just crying that you have been suppressing for so long. Then direct your focus while you're meditating on your health, right? So many voices that you've been suppressing, maybe a lot of lies or untruths that you've been suppressing for a while that, hey, I'm going to go to the gym one day. Well, that day still hasn't come, so what's going on? Then direct your focus. Direct your focus on your joy and your happiness. The most important one. And really ask yourself, right? Ask yourself, what are these inner voices saying? And this is why so much suppression of your inner self and your subconscious mind creates all of this depression that we have nowadays. And this suppression leads to depression, or suppression leads to worries and doubts first, and then worries and doubts continuously suppressed lead to depression. And it's very dangerous. And this is why Tony Robbins and myself, I religiously practice in my relationships understanding. Understanding subconsciously and mentally creates the vibration of love and miracles. So when you don't understand something in a relationship, there is something that comes up in a relationship I want you to stop and just ask the person. Like, clarify, have communication. Good communication to where there's no misunderstandings, and if something happens in a relationship, just talk to each other. Talk it out. If something in your life you're not understanding, don't let it go on, because ignorance is the vibration, or ignorance is fear. Or worry. So if you don't understand something, do some research or throw yourself out there, trial by fire, and learn the hard way, or understand it. And when you meditate correctly, focus on the 3 pillars of life: your relationships, happiness, and health. And really discover what these inner voices are telling you and what you've been suppressing. This is what meditation is. Also, you can combine meditation with visualization. Your visions. Because when you are meditating and you're in this natural creative state, you're able to visualize and you're able to imagine and create things that are just out of the world. And the more you meditate, the more activated your brain becomes. The more you meditate, not only the more activated your brain becomes, but the more you meditate, the more you are in this creative state or natural state just all day. And this is why, scientifically, we understand why Olympic gold medalists, meditators, or meditators that have meditated for tens and tens of thousands of hours, these Olympic meditators, their brains are always in gamma. Their 100% of their brain is activated. After meditating for so long, we now understand why. Meditating is very powerful. Very, very powerful. And this is why in religious texts, prophets, like the prophet Jesus, before his message was adulterated by one bloodline that's gone on for far too long, that's starting to crumble. And then many would debate that bloodline is Cain, the same family that owns all of the media and whatnot nowadays, that's starting to crumble. But that's a different debate. Or whatever you want to call that, first person, Cain, whatever, a vibration. We understand why these prophets in religious texts would go out into the mountains or go out into nature, right? Where all of the plants and trees are vibrating on the vibration of love in the purest form. And we understand why they would be alone and meditate, really go within themselves, really connect to this natural vibration and really find that pure and truthfully, brutally honest voice and explore and align that inner voice with all of life and the vibration of love and miracles. Meditate. Feel your inner voice, your true self. But first you have to discover yourself, let go of all these dogma masks and labels that a few overdue families have spent billions of dollars every year in marketing and advertising to you. That's not who you are. Discover your true self on the inside, your one voice. Start applying the spiritual mind and embrace your life purpose, your true self, and absolute spiritual freedom that you deserve. I love all of you. Meditate, meditate, meditate. Meditation is a natural process that we should all be doing every day. It's our spiritual dinner and our spiritual lunch. Not just a couple seconds. Make it last 15, 30 minutes. I love all of you guys. Have a beautiful day. Love yourself. We are all created in the Creator's highest image. We are all here with the Creator. That's what true love is. True love is an equality. True love is not one being dominant over the other, or a man-made God trying to dominate you through their God that they created. No, that's not true love. I love all of you. We are all created in the Creator's highest image. We are all equal. We all are not only equal, but we all have a spiritual mind. This is what created in the highest, the Creator's self-image, exactly the same really means. I love all of you.